Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ugh. Jade, I think you're muted.
Happy Wednesday. I got everybody muted. Tried something different and I still screwed it up. Oh, well. Anyway, we've got a good show tonight.
Fix that cold.
What?
You gotta fix that cold. Steve.
My cold?
You're cold with all that sneezing. Every week you're sneezing.
It's sneezing out of my mouth, not my nose.
Well, whatever. It's gross.
You mop it up?
No, but my roommates yell at me.
I heard her that one night. Anyway, welcome, guys. Welcome to the ones that are having fun flying out at Salton Sea. I'm very jealous.
Oh,
I
me
was
too.
watching a couple of you guys flying on Gaggle. So Cope, I know, was out there flying. If I don't even know if he's in here yet, but I know Bill H, Bonnie Franz, and James Belleville, and let's see, Eric is in here, Travis DuPont, Linda is in here,
Scott Starbeck.
Oh yeah, hi Scott, John Wayne, Bill H. Okay, one more thing I want to say at the if Walter comes in here tonight, let's give him a nice big hug and think about him because his dear friend Julie passed away the other night. I did put a little memorial towards the end in the outro. So please be thinking of Walter as he lost a dear, dear friend. And he's pretty sad right now. So anyway, let's welcome these guys and learn a little bit about Sun and Fun and how they got into flying. So we got Bobby and we got Paul. Hey guys. We lost Paul here. Paul, your camera's not on.
There. Well,
It is now.
no, it's not on yet. I see Bobby.
Yeah.
Paul, where are you?
Paul, can you check your camera? We can.
I see myself on here.
Yeah.
We don't see you on the main screen.
He was meant to be heard.
I see myself on a little screen here.
I know he's got a good radio voice. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
connection is a little delayed and slowed,
Yeah.
so let's just see if it pops up after some time.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, Bobby, while we're trying to get Paul in, why don't you talk about what kind of flying you do and where you're at right now?
I'm in Sarasota, a fresh breeze trike, a Seminini motor. It's pretty nice. I have probably the best, what I feel is probably the best scenic view in the entire world. I have a zoo in my area and they welcome me to fly around it, even low. I don't get too low because they have a liger, and every time I fly over it, the liger kind of reaches its arms up and tries to grab the parachute. So, but they have all kinds of cool animals inside of there. It's a cat rescue sanctuary. It's out by the freeway, so it's away from. They allow people to fly low just to attract the tourists into the area. Outside of that, we've got alligators and crocodiles and a bird sanctuary, and then the entire city and Gulf view from overview. So I love it out there. It's perfect. You have freeway access. Every time I fly, I've gotten anywhere from 5,000 to 20,000 views in a 30-minute flight.
Wow. All right. Bobby, we're getting a little bit of a robot feedback with you too. Can I maybe ask if you guys maybe log back off and try to come back in with that same link?
Do you see me?
Sure.
Do you see me at all?
No, we don't see you, Paul.
Okay, I'll get back out and go back in.
Yep. And Bobby, if you want to do that
Try
too,
to.
all of a sudden we're having a hard time hearing you.
Well, while they're doing that, how you doing, Wheezy?
I'm doing great, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing good, Wheezy.
Now, how cool is that you can fly over top of a bird sanctuary, animal sanctuary?
I know.
Wow, that is too strange. And over a liger. And
Yeah, I don't know if I want to fly that low, engine out, and it's like, oh man, I am.
be lion meat.
I hope that liger likes his meat jerked.
Oh my God, that'd be creepy. And the bird sanctuary, as far as the birds go, I'd be afraid the birds would get in the paramotor. There, he's back.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Yep.
Okay,
We
you
can hear
sound
this
better.
time.
So we were just talking about the sanctuary, the bird sanctuary. You don't have problems with birds and your paramotor?
No, if you fly, generally they stay below the 500 feet themselves. So as long as you stay above 500 feet, you don't got to worry about flying into them at all. But it's really cool because the birds follow you around. They attract to the parachute. So as soon as you see one flying crosswind towards you, they turn and then they just kind of like follow and fly right along the side of you. You know, like a lot of people think I'm chasing them, but a lot of the time it's them chasing me.
Oh, that's neat. That's really neat.
So, and one thing Deweese and I liked is your trike. What kind of trike do you have?
The bullet trike, it's got the wheelies upgrade on it instead of the stock wheels.
trike buggy bullet.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what we fly.
Yep. All right. So we got Paul back on the show. So welcome, Paul.
And this is a good
Well,
thing
thank
that
you
we
very
can see him
much.
because he is a very handsome man.
Stop
Well,
hitting on the
hey.
gas, Steve.
I'm glad I'm working on you. You're mentioning
beard
trikes.
looks like His
The
beard looks a
trike,
lot better
that
than
I
mine.
fly is
Oh,
You
we
went out.
lost. We lost you again, Paul.
Lost your sound, Paul.
Boy, we didn't have this problem in
No,
the
the sound was
pre-show.
fine.
Nope, nothing yet, Paul.
Nothing yet. Nope.
You're crystal clear, and then you cut out. That's okay. We have technical difficulties all the time.
Yeah. Nope. Try those earbuds, those connections maybe, and see if.
Sometimes there's a mic in the earbuds. Or you can even try taking them out.
Yeah, he tried that before and we couldn't hear him. Try taking them out once, Paul, and see.
Or
Nothing.
you'd have to unplug it from the laptop.
Nothing. Darn it. Well, we had him.
I want to hear what he has to say too.
I
Oh,
know.
Know who he is.
Shane Wyman says he's only about a mile from his house.
Yeah.
He what?
Shane Wyman says he's only. It's nice to see them in his area. He's only about a mile from his house.
No, I think he's talking to
Who's that?
Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie.
Shane's in Michigan.
Shane Wyman. Oh, that's right. He is, isn't he?
Yeah. Maybe try disconnecting one more time. Leave the studio, Paul, and then try to come back again. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. Michigan. Yeah.
All right. So tell us about you, and you said that you trained with Paul, correct?
Correct. I made it up to level 3. I was going to go for an instructor, but there's just a lot of drama. I get enough of it just hearing it online. So I'm good with level 3 at the moment.
Not drama.
As long as I make a lot of friends. Yeah. As long as I make a lot of friends, that's what I joined the sport for in the first place. You know, like skydiving, you have your inner circle of like maybe 12 people that you jump with on a daily basis, but paragliding's a lot more. So that's what I love about it. You just meet people every time you fly.
I know, that's the best part.
It is funny because we're such a smaller community than skydiving, and it all works out really well, getting along. But then you enter the business realm and an instructor, and then it's like, oh, where did all that go?
Yep. All right.
Is it working now?
I don't see
Yes.
as many instructors flying, so.
All right.
Yeah, we don't like drama.
I
Yeah,
do.
drama's not
I
good.
gotta have it.
All right. So, Paul, tell us a little bit about you.
All right. I just turned 63 years old, so I decided to retire from teaching everybody to fly. I was teaching for 15 years at PlanetPPG. I was in the Air Force when I was a little guy, and then helped design the cellular telephone systems for Bell South Mobility, Bell South International, and then after that, starting with wireless location with a company called True Position, and then got tired of the corporate life and started teaching people to fly at Pine Island Airport, where we were one of the busiest schools in the country for a number of years, and decided to hang it up just about a little over a year ago now, and I'm actually enjoying my retirement.
Awesome. Good for you.
So I've been flying for a long time, but started flying the PPGs when we moved back from England to Florida, and you can't jump off a mountain in Florida, so you had to have a motor on your back. So we started doing that.
Nice. So you said you had been training for 15 years.
Yes.
So I think I might know some of the people you have trained.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Matt Mignard, for example.
Okay.
Matt Mignard, Ernie Eli, London, Ivy, Eric Cote, Rick Davies, Eric Farewell. There's a bunch more. Those are just the quickies off the top there.
Yeah.
Bobby J right there.
Very nice. So you guys got any questions in the chat for either one of these guys?
So you train the worst of the worst.
Yes.
The real scum of the paramotor community.
That's exactly right. There's a few others that I didn't mention just for that reason.
I'm blaming you. So Paul, you're an instructor administrator, and you've been around a really long time. And you made a comment to me about in the pre-show, like handing stuff off and moving on to like the younger generation. And the way I always saw the really big contribution of the older crowd, especially since it was so new, is things seemed to really be data driven. There was so much to grow and accumulate and put things together just for critical thinking and trying to improve things. But obviously, when you involve a lot of people and you get money involved in businesses, things can go a little haywire, and which makes the community kind of weird. So what do you, and if you don't want to answer this question, that's fine, but what do you hope to see in the next 10, 20 years to improve maybe what the people couldn't really tackle back then in terms of problems or improvement? One of
the biggest things that I saw when I started teaching 15 years ago, actually 17 years ago now, was that people required back then, they required you to buy the equipment before you taught them to fly. And I thought that was a huge problem. And you might remember Bob Armand from Blackhawk back in the day. And Bob Armand was saying, Paul, you can't do what you want to do. I was telling him that I was going to start the rent before you buy trend. So we started doing the rent before you buy and telling everybody, look, don't buy a damn thing. Come learn to fly safely, fly different equipment, check it all out, and make sure what you decide on is going to be good. For example, I wear a size 12 shoe. I don't think that your foot is going to fit into my size 12, meaning that the fresh breeze may be great for me, but you might like the Scout or the mini plane or fly products or something else. So that was the biggest one, is to get everybody to use our equipment when they trained, and then that way they're going to make a choice, an informed choice, instead of having a salesman tell them what's good. So that was the number one. The second one, what I'd like to see happen more, is the disconnection between the sale and the training process. Right now, you'll find a number of instructors out there, and they may even be certified, that are a lot more interested in taking your money than actually training you to fly. They'll say they're an instructor, but they really don't teach you everything you need to know. There's a lot of times you'll go talk to these people and you'll say, tell me about airspeed. Tell me about angle of attack. And they'll say, what? Tell me about trim tabs. What? And the instructors really don't do a good enough job, in my opinion, a lot of times, in making sure that they have the basic things that student needs to fly safely moving forward. So I'd like to see more accountability for the instructors. I'd like to see a disconnect from having to purchase certain equipment. There's instructors out there saying that if you don't buy my equipment, that you're going to die, that it's terrible. And that, I've got a crumple zone and you don't, or, on and on and on. It's just really crazy. And it actually tears the community apart when you start to do that. Back in the day when everybody's driving motorcycles, can't do that much here in Florida where there's so many retired people, that you would, whether somebody had a Suzuki or a Harley or Honda, it didn't matter. But, we need to get back to that where, hey, you're flying. Doesn't matter what you fly as long as you're flying it safely.
That makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
One question in the chat I've got marked, and Darren says, what major changes have you seen in the sport since the beginning?
Is that question for me?
Sure.
Well, I tell you, I've seen some huge differences in the wings. that's the one thing that has surprised me the most is the wings. They continue to evolve. They continue to become much, much smaller for a given weight load. They're much faster. They're much more resistant to collapse if you get an A or B class wing. It's really breathtaking when I pull out an old wing and I have somebody kite it and they say, "You got to be kidding, this thing's a dog." I said, "Hey, this is state of the art just 10 years ago." I have not seen any really change in the motors except for they have high-tech doodads on there that, in my opinion, take away from the simplicity of powered paragliding and give you just more problems. So if I had to say one thing, I'd say by far the wings and the evolution of the performance and safety of the wings has actually been breathtaking in these last 15 years.
Yeah, now you could just like blow on it. It's like, oh, I got to check that.
That's right. Back in the day, you needed a pair of Viagra to get it up.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Everybody looks good.
So are you still flying?
Oh yeah. Still fly. In fact, I just am tearing down Big Red. That's the 4-stroke Generac that Terry Lukey made. That's one of my wheeled tandem machines. And I'm tearing that down, getting it all ready for Sun and Fun so I can do tandems at the air show there. I used to do a lot of foot launch tandems, but I dislocated my collarbone, and they're not fixing that. So I'm really not supposed to be doing the foot launches anymore, but I really enjoyed doing foot launch tandems back in the day.
Nice. And what about you, Bobby? Do you do foot launch also? Is he froze?
He's froze. Bobby does not do foot launching. He only flies the trike. When he learned back at Pine Island, probably 12 years ago now, he was on trikes back then as well.
Okay. I saw that he's originally from Wisconsin also.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he told you, but he was a window washer for a while too on high-rise buildings.
Oh,
Oh
really?
my gosh.
Now, that's as crazy as jumping out of an airplane with a perfectly good parachute. That's
That
crazy.
That is.
Right. Bobby, if you can hear us, maybe log off and come back on. I think you've got the bad internet also.
Yep. Well, we're definitely trying to repair everything from the storm. The hurricane came through, Ian, and it really damaged a large part of Florida from where I am here at Port Charlotte and south for about 50 miles. It's really torn up. Fort Myers Beach is still a war zone. We had 30-something trees come down on our property, and just about every house in our neighborhood has a blue tarp on the roof, and they're putting new roofs on every day. It's amazing.
Yeah. What do you have for temperature now this time of year?
80.
Oh,
Well, that's nice.
Lucky.
Now,
You want to come up to Nebraska? I'll trade you.
It got cold last night now. It got cold last night. It was 55.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's
raining at
drinking
Kiwanis?
weather where I am.
Yeah. Well, we actually wear a sweatshirt. When it gets in the 60s, we have a sweatshirt on.
poor things.
So, for doing this so long, what are some of your best stories? You were talking about a firefighter being at one of the events you were at, and somebody making a
Yes.
certain decision. And
Oh, it was great. So we were at Beach Blast. I was helping John Black put the Beach Blast show on the first couple of years he had that. And the first year, it was quite the to-do because there was 300 pilots there at the Edgewater Beach Resort there at Panama City, Florida. John Black put on a
300?
great show.
wow,
300 pilots. 300.
that's like the amount of the biggest fly-ins we have today. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is really up there. And it was great too, because where can you go to a fly-in and stay in a 4-star hotel, have a swimming pool right there, steps away from your booth, and then the launch. So anyway, we're at Panama City, and some of the guys, Chris Santacroce, I think it was, had a smoke canister on his foot so that when he did his acro and some other things in a demonstration, everybody else was on the ground, he would light this canister. So all of us are sitting around the pool in the booths and we're watching. Well, this one guy next to me was a firefighter from Alabama. And he was, a strapping guy, looking good. And so I said that for you there, Steve. So, and so they were saying, they're watching, he started to smoke, and he's saying, well, that guy's on fire. Well, that guy's on fire, everybody. He's on fire. And I walked up to him and I said, no, he's meant to do that. That's a smoke canister. He's still on fire. No, he's not on fire. Okay. So he went back to drinking his beer. But just to hear him say so loudly that he's on fire, almost like Andy Griffith on RFD. It was really, really good. You had to be there for that one, I'll tell you.
So Wangslow in the chat, Paul says, I have footage of Paul when his hair wasn't gray.
I'll bet he does. My hair is definitely, my beard is white. I could be Santa Claus if I could gain some weight. I only weigh about 210 pounds. If I gain about 80, I could be Santa Claus. It's pretty white. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You'll get there too, y'all. Don't laugh now. You'll get there.
I'm not.
No, because I lost my hair when I was 20. I'm actually bald on top.
Oh, well, I'm happy. I got all the hair in my teeth, so I'm okay. It's gray, though. It is gray. That's for sure.
Hey, Bobby, do we have you back yet, or are you still a mannequin?
He looks like he's still stuck. So let me talk about Sun and Fun a little bit and tell you what's going on at Sun and Fun. Second largest air show in the country. I know pre-show we were talking about Oshkosh.
Yep.
And Oshkosh is by far the largest air show in the world, but Sun and Fun right here at Lakeland, Florida is the second largest, and it will be March 28th to April 2nd this year. So there's going to be flying opportunities. So we can fly our PPGs from 7:15 in the morning till 9 in the morning every day. And then in the afternoons, depending on the show, I don't have the final schedule for the air shows when the Blue Angels and the F-35 demo team and all these other acro guys are going to be out and about. But it should be really good. But if everybody wants to fly, all they have to do is register as a pilot, sign a waiver band, and then attend one of the briefings that I give at the media building at 7 in the morning. They're at the media building right along the runway. And there's the air cam there you'll see on the little video you're showing.
So if you fly in the morning, do you have to follow a specific pattern? Is it pretty tightly controlled?
Oh, okay. Yes, it is very tightly controlled. Just remember that you have a couple of thousand aircraft in very close proximity to you. So we have a hard ceiling of 500 feet. So I have everybody fly about 300 feet, give a 200-foot buffer between you and the top of the ceiling of our box. You have a very small pattern to fly. But the good thing is that you get to keep coming by the runway, and you could do foot drags or touch and goes depending on the traffic behind you. We also do manufacturer showcase where individuals can have the entire runway and the pattern themselves for a 3-minute period. So anybody can sign up for that and actually do some more things. You cannot do acro, but you can be a little bit more showy, if you will.
See, when I flew Oshkosh, I went through the briefs and everything on that pattern, and I'm like, hey, I don't have an altimeter on me. Like your natural instinct somewhere new is you fly high, and they're like, don't worry about it. Just follow the guy in front of you. Well, that works all said and good until everybody blows their launch and you're the first one up. And then while I was up there, I'm getting texts like, Steve, you're too high. You got to go down.
Well, we have a set of trees between our runway and the south side where the Geico building is. So I tell everybody during the flight briefing, if you can see the runway just over the top of the trees, you're at the right height. If you see all of the runway, you're too high. So we talk about that. And it's very important that you don't fly too high because, seriously, there's some fast movers just over your head. And what we do is we recommend to the guys like you that were new at that event is to let some of the other guys that have flown there first take off and fly, and then you go and fly. And it's interesting that you say that because a lot of the guys, these big names that you hear about in PPG, when it comes to flying in front of, let's say, 500 people or 1,000 people on the fence, some people get nervous and they blow their launch. Other people, they don't have any problem at all, and they get their wing up and they go fly right away. But it's interesting, some of the people that do blow their launch when they've got an audience.
Yeah, that's why I love PPG, because it's kind of an equalizer. You can come in very humble and sell yourself short and stuff, and then you'll go to an event, and then you just take it seriously, do your thing, and then but you'll look around you, and it suddenly becomes a confidence builder, because it's like,
No doubt.
oh, I'm kind of actually doing a really good job at what I'm doing in the moment.
And then when you land exactly where you want to land, and you drop your wing right in front of the crowd, and then start asking, hey, has anybody got any questions for me? Works out well.
Yeah, that was beautiful. So at I'm sorry. So at Sun Fun, because I did have someone ask, it's a new person that's getting into it, and they're like, hey, I want to go to a fly-in, I want to see some stuff and whatever. And I was like, well, you're in Florida, Sun Fun's coming up. And then another person piped in that's like, that's not really PPG friendly, you're going to have a hard time meeting people. Do they only fly in the mornings? Do you have a PPG group that might camp like miles away, that might do what they want to do? Like if you're a PPG person, could you just go over what the opportunities are, what actually happens out in the 20-mile radius?
Sure. Okay. First off, we have Dragon PPG going to be there. That's Dan Feldman and Eric DeFore. Everybody knows those names. Dragon will be there. Rick Davies with his Florida Flight School, he'll be there. And Pair America with John Esley. So you've got 3 PPG exhibitors that are going to be there, in addition to all of the folks that just come to fly, like Joe Anafono, Bobby J, for example, who's now back, I see. A bunch of other folks that come every single year and go fly. You do have to fly a set pattern when you're in the box. When I say the box, meaning it is about a 3-mile area that you have to be very, very careful about what you do. But once you get south of Route 60, you can do what you want. So many folks, they camp right there in the Paradise City or East Campground, they call it, and they fly, and then they take off and then fly away. They fly to the OK area, which is south of Route 60, and then they can do whatever they want to fly, as long as they fly within, FAR 103 or whatever regulations that they have to follow. But there's that. We also have forums, and some of these forums are going to be given by Eric DeFore, John Esley, maintenance on PPG, things like that. But you can also see a number of other big exhibitors out there, like a Power Shoot. They're doing the PPCs and the weight shift trikes from Evolution and things like that. So there's a lot going on there, and the PPG guys are very welcomed. In fact, it is a big part of the show. And we can fly from 7:15 to 9 o'clock every morning, and some afternoons as well, from about 6:45 till dusk, depending on what the F-35 are going to do and the Blue Angels. So it all depends on the show, but we get a lot of flying time. We really do. And if anybody has any questions about that, you can always drop an email to Paul at planetppg.com, or call me on the phone number you see down on this card behind me, and we'll be happy to get you set up, make sure you're registered as a pilot, make sure that you have help you find a place to stay, or if you want to volunteer. Security is looking for people to help with. Headquarters is looking for folks. So there's be Paul at planetppg.com.
Do you know what the tickets are costing?
I believe they're $45 if you are going to be a spectator. If you work 2 hours a day, or I think it might be 4 hours a day for one of the departments, then you can get in for free.
What about camping?
Camping, I think, is $100 a week for dry camping. If you register and volunteer and then work at least 20 hours in the week, your camping is paid for, and then you get power. You can have an actual 10 amp circuit so that you can plug in and get your small things going, lights and things.
Yeah, I had something pulled up with the camping. Hang on, I'll try to go back and find it here.
Pretty sure it's $100 a week, I think it is. But I'll tell you, it's an awesome opportunity for anybody, especially to get up and fly and then just see a couple thousand aircraft parked below you, and then have another 100 flying all around you. it is a very eye-opening and humbling experience, especially because you see how small you are. And well, I see they've raised it $32 a night for early, and it's $140 for the week. I just
There it
saw
was, Jade. Camping only.
40
Camping
a night.
only is 140 weekly.
Yeah.
But that's not including your admission.
Yep. Yeah,
So-
I recommend strongly everybody go and look and see if you want to register as a volunteer. Security is always looking for people to watch a gate for a couple hours and then go fly.
Oh yeah, so you could just volunteer for something, and then get a discount or something.
It's free.
Oh, free.
If you volunteer, for example, if you volunteered for security or the flight line folks or even the media group, my group, all you'd have to do is work 4 hours a day. You get a pass for that day. You get a parking pass for that day. And, you work during your scheduled time and go have fun the rest of the day, whether it's flying or going and looking at the exhibits on the big side. There are over 300 exhibitors on the big side, and there are 32 exhibitors currently in the ultralight side in Paradise City.
So if somebody had volunteered for media on your group, what would they be doing?
Well, right now the media group has all the volunteers we need, but what they will be doing is doing interviews, making sure that we know who the pilots are, making sure that when you go to the pilot briefing in the morning, to make sure that we understand what airplanes they're going to fly, what company they're with, so that we can advertise for them properly. One of the things we do when we announce is we like to go ahead and give more information and say, that's Phil coming around again in a Kid Fox. We'd like to say a little bit, where's Phil from? What, how long has he been flying? Is he flying with a company? Is his wife watching? What problems he had with his aircraft, or is there something he'd like to do different? Or maybe there's a pearl of wisdom that he can lay on us. And it's always nice from the veterans to educate us.
Yeah. So Bobby, what do you do when you're there at the Sun and Fun? What do you do when you're there?
I fly during the morning time, and then I go try to introduce myself to all the different exhibitors during the daytime, eat good food while I'm there. And last year they had the most awesome night show. I wish I could have been a part of it.
Yeah.
It was definitely an awesome night to watch. So if you guys are coming this year, you're going to see something very spectacular, I'm sure.
Speaking of the night show this year, Paramerica with John Esley is going to be doing a night show with PPG. So they'll have all the lights on. They've got the waivers done already. And also there's going to be 3-dimensional drone displays at night. 3-dimensional. Last year it was 1-dimensional. If you're looking the correct perspective, it's beautiful. You can see these different shapes. But now it's going to be 3-dimensional. There'll be hundreds of drones up all at the same time doing this. They're going to have balloon lighting at night. They're going to have all of the fireworks aircraft as well. So these big aircraft flying around, shooting all these fireworks off. And then, of course, they'll have the Lake of Fire, where they do a demonstration of what looks to be fugas or going off. And it's really spectacular. We'd be a quarter mile away and you could feel the heat from the flame. It's very, very nice show at night. That's for sure.
Wow.
Is there going to be any acrobatic teams like Arrhythmia or Paradigm that does the paramotor formation fly-ins?
Yes. John Esley's group with Paramerica, PPG, they will be doing that. The other group you just mentioned, they were there the last 2 years, but they are doing a different show, I believe, now.
That'll be Arrhythmia, I believe. Yeah, I was filming them in Oshkosh. They're pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm very mixed feelings about doing acro in PPG at a big show, and I'll tell you why real quickly. Being an instructor for so many years, I have a problem with flying this equipment outside the bounds what the manufacturer recommended or what FAR 103 says. Acrobatics typically mean high Gs, 4G plus type maneuvers. And these machines and these wings are not rated for acrobatics. None of them are, not one that I'm aware of. And as a result, it adds a lot of risk. It sure does look good, and you'll get a lot of people interested. But I think that it's probably a lot wiser to sell the sport of powered paragliding by boating around nice and slow and waving at everybody and showing everybody how calm and peaceful it is, instead of having Sally standing out there saying, "Oh my God, is he gonna die?" You know, you don't want that.
We are way too motivated to be doing stuff we don't need to do because we think that's the next stage to have fun when it's really not. But I do remember working a lot with Arrhythmia that at shows like Oshkosh and Sun and Fun, there are rules that you cannot put your wing down 30%, you know, to the horizon, and you got to keep things in strict levels. Now, I do want to say I want to volunteer so I can come in for free, and I'm going to share my screen and show you why, because I like to bring an inflatable outfit and harass everybody. This is what I did at Oshkosh. I had an inflatable outfit I stole from my brother, and I just walked around when I wasn't flying and just harassed all the kids, and it was just like the best time ever. Those events are so much fun. I love it. So if you want to fly me down, I'll come harass everybody.
If you want to do something like that, I think that I could work you into the media team.
Yeah.
So send an email to Paul at planetppg.com.
There you go, Steve. You just got into Sun and Fun.
So Duckspit is wondering, is there a charge if we fly in, like Harley Millen did to Oshkosh?
Well, that's a very good question. The truth of the matter is you can fly in for free, but you're going to have an armband to go to the exhibits and things like that, and you can fly out for free. But if you want to participate in the show, you need to have an armband. Yep. Also, if you're going to fly in during the show, you have to fly in during specific times. For example, for us, it'd be between 7:15 and 9 in the morning, so you don't get in the way of the fast movers that'll be flying after 9 o'clock.
Okay. And then
hey, we're past the halfway mark. Do you want to do a spinning wheel?
Sure. Let me ask one more question quick, though. I'll get this one out of the way. Darren's asking, are there going to be any BGD or any other wing companies there?
There are not any wing companies that I know of. However, both Rick Davies, Dragon PPG, and Eric Ensley from Paramera, they sell wings.
Okay.
I'm also going to have a wing there for sale. I'm not an exhibitor, but I'm going to also have a few of new wings that I have not sold since I retired that I'm going to let one of those other guys co-sign for me there.
Okay. All right. So we lost Raptor again. There he is, Bobby.
You're having a hard time, Raptor.
All right. What are we giving away? How about we got stickers again. Just want to fly. Let's go for a just want to fly.
All right. I greased it up really good.
All right.
This wheel is brought to you by, let's do Backcountry PPG. Trevor Steele. He doesn't give me any money, but I'll do a
Come on, Travis. I'm rooting for you. You need to slow that thing down and make it stop on Travis. Travis needs to win.
You tell me to grease it up, and now you tell me to slow it down. Make up your mind, woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Slow it down. Make it for Travis.
Come on, Travis. Slow.
Come on, here he comes. Here he comes. Come on, speed it up just a little.
I don't think it's gonna be Travis.
Come on, Travis.
No, it's too grease.
Come on, Travis.
Come on, Travis.
Come on,
Travis. I think it's gonna be Linda.
Oh, God darn it.
Travis.
Hey, watch your language. This is a kid show.
Travis.
I think it might be Linda. Come on, Linda.
Yeah.
Oh, Linda.
Linda's mailman.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried, Travis.
Linda's mailman stole her one I just sent her last week.
Well, now he's going to get another one.
Dang.
Oh.
I do have 4 Sun and Fun stickers that I can send up to you, and you can pass out to the folks that win as well.
All right. Let's go for a Sun and Fun.
All right.
Oh, man. Making me work.
That's right. Round and round the wheel goes. Where it stops, nobody knows.
Come on, Travis. Come on, Travis.
Spin this wheel is brought to you by Wait, what's the name of your school again? Northern Lights Paramotor, Jade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come
if you
on,
want to get
Travis.
some Bush League training, you can get with Eric
Come on,
Lear.
Travis. Nope, it isn't gonna make it this time. Oh, here he comes. Come on, Travis. Oh.
And there
Come
goes
on now.
Travis.
There he goes. Too fast.
It's going to land on James again. James wins all the time.
No, I greased this up really
No,
well.
he's passing James.
Maybe Scott.
I put that lithium grease on it.
Michael Jasper.
Ooh.
Mmm. It just burnt my tongue.
Sorry, Travis. It's just no good.
Jasper. Welcome to the show, Michael. And if you would get a hold of me on Facebook on Messenger, let me know your address. And as soon as I get the Sun and Fun stickers from Paul, I'll send you one out.
Steve, is Randy on there?
Randy's not on there. Do you want me to put him on there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I've done it in the past, and he was like, pass. So.
No, put him on there.
Okay.
He's in there in the living room hollering at me.
I'll put him in there twice because I make the rules.
Deweese, one of these days, I'm gonna get your Northern Lights jackets out.
Okay.
And I'll give Randy his Just Wanna Fly sticker that you passed him on. I think it was last week. Hey, and we got Linda Kramer in here. Linda, I still need to get a hold of you to chat about maybe being a guest sometime on here. And if anybody else is interested in being a guest on our show sometime,
I am.
No, you're not allowed. We are actually booked out. We're working on May now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Plus, Steve, you're going to have to talk to your parole officer and get permission.
And that's funny that you brought it up because doctor says I'm an alcoholic and I had to take a urine test and it came back with an olive in it.
Olive. I have a question. Do you guys go to other fly-ins besides Sun and Fun?
I used to go to just about every fly-in as long as it was close, from Palm Bay and the Bad Apples. There used to be a lot of fly-ins going on. I haven't been to a fly-in other than Sun and Fun in the last year, though.
Yeah, same here. There's nothing really local going on too much. I don't get a chance to travel out of state as often as I'd like, but yeah, locally around here, the Pine Island flying was between that and Sun and Fun were the two best, I thought. So now I'm just at Sun and Fun.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Bobby, you could bring Paul back up to your home state and come about 2.5 hours north and come up by us to our fly-in in July.
Yeah.
That's a good time for it, too.
July is warmer, yeah.
What's that, Paul?
I'm allergic to cold.
It's not cold in July.
That's what I said. It's a good time. That's a good time for that.
Listen to you talk, Deweese. You got out of the car and you're like, it's cold.
Well, it was a little cold.
Maybe.
Well, I'm thinking that the Bad Apples fly-in there at Hodges Field is going to be really good. They've gotten a substantial following here lately. They've had over 200 pilots last time, so that's pretty good. And I'm supposed to be Bad Apple number 38, so I guess I should go to one of their Bad Apples.
Yeah, I think was it last year? No, year before. They had 300.
The
317 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, my first year there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Hodges Field is a great area to fly. Large grass for miles around. It's a very, very nice location. It's basically in the middle of Georgia where there's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful there.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
golf course runway. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Andersonville Confederate prison camp is there.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's something.
People found it last year and I guess flew over it. And then the wardens came and had a chat.
I imagine that's probably frowned on.
Yeah, definitely. So, how many planes do you guys get that, do you know offhand, coming into Sun and Fun?
I don't have the count. I would, if I had to guess, I would say it's got to be over 1,000.
Okay.
I do have the records. I could look and see how many pilots are registered. I know that we have over 50 pilots registered for the ultralight side.
How many?
Over 50.
Wow. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
And again, most of those pilots that are registered at this time are with exhibitors like Magni Gyro with the gyrocopters, or CGS Hawk, or Stolet Aircraft, or even M Squared, Auto Gyro, Aeropract. Just Aircraft, for example, they've got the big balloon tires. They're a STOL aircraft, and they'll be doing a STOL demonstration as well out there at Paradise City Sun and Fun this year. If you haven't seen any of the STOL demonstrations or competitions, it's really something. Short takeoff and landing, and Steve last year was doing it. Not our Steve here, a different Steve. He was doing. He was. I think it was 46 feet. He took off in from a standing start. His airplane got off the ground in 46 feet.
Yeah, I was watching one of those competitions a couple days ago, and they are just awesome little planes.
Yeah.
Did he have is he in a yellow plane?
Yes, it's a yellow plane, number 55, with a Yamaha engine, and you better put your fingers in your ears when he winds that thing up, because, oh my God, it's loud.
He won at Oshkosh this last year too.
Yeah, he's really something.
So I think Darren Locklear is a little late coming in, and he's asking, when is Sun and Fun? What are the dates again, Paul?
Sun and Fun dates are March 28th through April 2nd.
Yeah.
March 28th, April 2nd. Now, I'll be going up a week early to set up, because Paradise City, the ultralight side, is nothing but grass. We have to set everything up, the monuments for the booths, the bathrooms, the bleachers. We got to put the fencing up to keep the flight line safe. So we'll be there a week early, and we'll actually leave out on April 2nd on that Sunday.
Okay.
Let other people do the cleanup.
Right.
Yes.
That's the way you do it.
That's why I like to cook. I cook so somebody else cleans. Hey.
Yeah.
Yep. March 28th, April 2nd.
Yeah.
And what's the location again?
And it's at Lakeland Linder Airport, and that's right between Tampa and Orlando. And it's a really, like I was saying, with the Paradise City family. My wife, Donna, does the producing. She's the producer for the show. I do the announcing and all the media aspects of it. But a lot of the volunteers have been doing this for years. So it's a big family. And after the show ends, every night, everybody all gets together. And there's some good pictures of the night show you just flipped up there. Yeah. And it's really, really nice to see so many people out and enjoying aviation, especially the kids. That camouflage plane was Patriot aircraft. They were there last year.
Very nice.
Yep.
Gosh, you guys are going to have a wonderful time. That's for sure.
Yep, and it's really growing. Since Amazon Prime has started to use Lakeland Linder Airport as a hub. There are many, many flights in. They've got a huge warehouse already. They're building another huge warehouse and distribution center. So there's a lot going on there with the Aerospace Center for Excellence as well, where they are educating the youth and getting things going with their education program they have, as well as the museum and the 3D things they've got going on. Really, really nice facility. I encourage everybody to come by Sun and Fun 2023, Lakeland Linder Airport, right between Tampa and Orlando, between it's March 28th through April the 2nd. If you want to volunteer, you can send an email to paul@planetppg.com. I'll send you a link to the registration for volunteering. If you want to fly, you can also send that email to me, and I will set you up with the link to be a pilot and let you know what safety briefings you have to attend. I give the safety briefings there at 7 o'clock, right next to the flight line, so you won't miss us. And everybody can come out and fly all the way till 9 o'clock every day, and then in the afternoons when the jets aren't flying.
Nice.
All right, Jade, we need to do volunteers and plan on going to Sun and Fun 2024.
I know. I already volunteer at EAA, so we might as well do it down there too.
Yeah.
We'll go visit Wendy down there.
Yep.
Wendy the Explorer.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, got any other questions for these gentlemen?
Yes. So,
all right.
Paul, most of our viewers that are going to be watching this have probably only done it a maximum of 4 years. And a lot of us have relatively smooth experiences just generally flying, maybe our own struggles with anxiety or just learning how to do it, but nothing entirely major. But for someone who's been doing it as long as you know, many of us haven't ran into really rough or scary issues other than maybe getting spooked by things that are benign. We haven't lost friends, things to that nature. Is there any stories or things or feelings that you've had that were really personal or great experiences that you want to share?
Well, one of the really great experiences, we had a fly-in there at Pine Island, and we all took off. There's like 12 of us. We all flew the 4-mile water crossing to Cayo Costa. We turned south over the white sand beaches. We flew down Cayo Costa, North Captiva, and then on to Sanibel, all the way around the lighthouse, and we came back. Well, the wind had picked up, so we were flying north from Sanibel back up to Pine Island. It's a 17-mile long island that we had still to go, and the wind really got strong, and some of us didn't have enough gas. So I had the pleasure to land in Froggy's parking lot, which is a local nightclub down on the south end of Pine Island. I had to call the guys to come pick me up, and they drove right by me because they were looking at the girls. Now, can you believe that? I'm standing there with a PPG on my back. I got the wing in my hands, and they drove right by me because they were looking at the girls. So you may want to bring your strobe light with you and put it out so that you can let them know that where you are when it come to get it, right?
Well, that's why I fly in a dress.
Some folks like that. They like the wind up their skirt. I like to wear shorts.
So when I land, I can flag down the truckers, and they're like, "Oh, we thought you were a lady," and it's like, "No, I'm from Motley Crue."
They look at that mustache, and I think they'll think differently.
No, I turn around. Make sure
Oh,
they don't see my face. Yeah.
oh, you give them the bikini figure, huh?
Yeah, it's catfishing.
There you go. One of the things really is for all the folks, what I tell is learning PPG is difficult. Even if you have a good instructor, even if you have excellent coordination and mental skills, it is difficult to learn. It is unbelievably weird when you look at somebody that's been in it for a while because they pick up the wing and it looks effortless. And it becomes that way after probably your 50th or 60th flight for most folks. So any new people out there, what I'd say is stay with it. Don't get doing any of this acro, any of this stuff. Fly nice and easy and safe. After you get 50 or 60 flights, it will start to get much, much easier. And you'll actually start looking pretty good too.
Oh yeah. Like I'm a huge beginner advocate, and I always tell people, don't overanalyze, don't overthink. I'm like, look, it took me 30 flights to stop crashing when I landed. But even when I crashed, it didn't hurt my equipment or myself. It's just a pride thing. And it's like juggling. You think you're never going to get it, but you just got to get out there and you keep doing it and you keep doing it. And you'll get it eventually. And I have friends that have flown hundreds of hours more than me that will go through anxiety issues and will retract a bit, and then they'll come back, get their confidence back. And it's just not a competition, and just go out there, try and practice and have fun. And a lot of us are really good people that are just happy to be around you. It doesn't matter how good you are.
That's right. There's a lot of folks that come out that may have stopped flying, but they'll bring their motor out to the airport and they'll start it and walk around a little bit just to talk to everybody and have a social hour. One of the things I found that was best for student confidence, however, in my teaching was to have everybody tow. So we would learn how to the ground school, learn how to kite the wing, and then they'd tow for a number of flights so that they'd learn how to raise the wing up and taxi, take off, fly nice and straight, and then land, bring the wing down. And then only when they could do that on tow did I let them use one of our engines and then fly with the motor. So it really built the confidence up, because when they put the motor on their back, now you've got the vibration, now you've got the power, now you've got all these new sensations that make it all new again. So what you really need to do is to take your students slowly through. If your instructor isn't taking you through slowly and wants you to learn step by step in baby steps and gain in confidence, then you might want to find a different instructor. Find somebody like that that's going to take you through at your speed so that you don't get shocked, you don't get scared, and everything seems natural as you progress through the different facets of this really fascinating sport.
All right. Any other questions?
I had my scariest moment in flying 2 weeks ago myself. I was flying on a really foggy morning.
Did you lose track of where you were or anything?
I think we lost his audio again.
Darn it. What's wrong
Doug
with you Floridians?
Doug Falwell and I were flying along Fort Myers Beach one time, and the fog was receding, and so we were following the receding fog.
You guys still hear me?
Oh, he's back now.
Yep.
You guys got me on audio?
Yes.
So as the fog was receding, we would follow it down Fort Myers Beach. This is back in the day when you could fly Fort Myers Beach. And so a finger of fog came around us, and next thing you know, I was white out, total white out, like a sheet of paper right in front of me. I suddenly got vertigo.
I was flying, and it was really foggy out in the morning time. And as soon as I launched, and it got above the fog, it looked like an Amazon.
Wow. Were you stuck up above the fog for a while, or did you come back down? Technical difficulty again.
Yeah, I don't think he ever came back down.
No, I think Bobby J's still out there somewhere. 8 miles high and waiting to touch down.
That's why Paul's such a good instructor. He's never let a student up there.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, there is a story about an instructor in South Florida that he was starting to lose it a little bit, and one of his students went up to solo, and while he was up there, he started to sweep out his car. And some of the other people at the airport had to talk the student in because he totally forgot he had a student in the air. Now, I've never done that. You don't want to start cleaning your car when you have a student in the air. It's just bad form.
No kidding.
I'm experiencing lag on my end.
But it
Who
is
are you talking to?
I'm telling a story, Bobby, while you're having your technical difficulties.
Can you hear us, Bobby?
That was his laugh, though. That was his laugh.
Right?
Right.
I'm here. It just seems to be lagging.
Well, everybody come out to Sun and Fun 2023. This is the 49th year Sun and Fun's having this show. It's going to be a great show. It'll be March 28th to April 2nd, PPG friendly. Don't let anybody tell you it's not PPG friendly. It is. And regardless of what Hot Buttered Steve says there, it is a good time. And everybody can come out and fly.
Exactly. Well, I hope to be there next year. I really would like to check it out and come meet you guys for sure.
It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of big names out there. A lot of people have been around for a long, long time. Everybody can learn. There's so many different people out there that you can learn all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And if we hopefully get Bobby back, we can say goodbye to him. Paul, are you willing to stick around maybe for just a few minutes in the after show? Just see if anybody wants to come in and say hi.
Sure.
All right.
And then Paul, are you retired from teaching, or do you still teach?
I officially, I'm retired. However, if somebody wanted to do an advanced course, instructor or tandem, something like that, then I would come out of retirement for that. But as far as new students and being out in the field for a week in the sun, I'm not doing that anymore. I've had melanomas cut off of me, and I only have so much skin.
Oh yeah.
And do you still sell any equipment?
I only have used equipment. I have one new wing that's left. Other than that, no, I do not sell equipment. Just I'm trying to thin the herd. I've got one 4-stroke Generac machine I want to sell. Bobby's been talking to me about it, but he hadn't committed yet. And I've got one Muse 428 brand new in the box still I want to sell. Other than that, I'm out.
Man, I don't know. You don't want to pass the torch off to people like me. Just look at this beard. It's just going to go downhill from here.
Well, I'm
You're
kind of
leaving
curious.
us high and dry.
I'm kind of curious to
everybody.
see how you fly, because with a beard like that, you have to fly to match it.
I don't even know how that's going to work. They got the mustache wing coming out.
Okay.
Are you gonna put
No.
wax on it now and like handlebars?
I just need a
Yeah.
shave. I just need a
And
shave.
wax,
You do.
wax your wing.
I just hope he doesn't drool when he flies.
Don't get the
I'd hate to see
handlebars.
I'd hate to see the drool coming off of that thing.
I drool without a beard every day.
I've heard that about you, Steve.
Hey, you remember when the guy got the dreadlocks caught in the motor?
Oh, that was a good one. He was okay. That was a guy. He was a male entertainer from Key West, Florida. He's 19 years old, had long blonde hair in dreadlocks, and the guy really was like Adonis. I mean, the guy was cut. He had no fat on him. He was definitely an adult entertainer. So he brought all this money up. It was cash, and it was a lot of $10 bills, $5 bills, and singles. And he bought his training with that, and then he came back later and paid $3,000 for a mini plane, top 80 mini plane. So we started this mini plane up. He's going to go fly it. And he came back and landed. He goes, the recoil, I can't start it. I said, well, okay, no problem. I'll fix that. I'll show you how, if that's a problem. We always do that, show them how to fix it so they're resilient. And so we started taking this recoil apart, and there's huge white dreadlock stuck in the recoil. And I said, what are you, did you get your hair caught in there? And no, I said, is this your dreadlock? Yes. So I took the dreadlock and I stapled it to the wall. And I said, tie your hair up in a Sharpie pen on the wall next to it. So for the last couple of years after that, he had to see his dreadlock stapled to the wall. That was a good one, Bobby. Thanks for reminding me about that.
Yeah, it reminded me of that, and I'm picturing Steve thinking, how would that handlebar mustache look getting sucked into the motor?
But it's funny you say that, because one of my friends, have you heard about these AI generators? Like, they'll either write text or they'll take an image and regenerate you completely. Like, it's crazy what computers will do these days. Well, I had a friend regenerate me as a woman, and it regenerated me as this beautiful woman with long hair. And I'm wearing something weird in my paramotor on my back. And I went and I posted that online just to be funny. And all I said was, like, I'm pretty and I know it. And I had 500 guys tell me, hey, if you don't wrap up your hair, you're going to get a quick haircut. And then every reply, I would send back my real picture and be like, yep, I got a fast haircut real quick. And then it freaked them all out because they thought they were talking to a pretty girl.
You know, you've mentioned something like that 3 different times during this hour, Steve.
Yeah, I got problems. I'm sorry.
There she is.
Well, it sounds like you've got him at least handled.
Yeah.
At least you're not like AJ Alexo. AJ Alexo out of California. Just as he finished learning to fly there at PlanetPPG, he said, okay, now I'm going to fly naked. I said, no, you're not. You're not flying naked at Pine Island Airport. I'm sorry. You go back to California and fly naked, but not here.
Yeah.
I don't want to get thrown off the airport because you're flying naked, AJ. He's in Florida now, too. You're probably, if you see a guy flying naked, that's probably AJ.
Okay.
Jade's
All
like,
right.
what's his name? No.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll send you his info if you want. He's a player.
Bobby, do you have any other stories or anything you want to share before we call it a night?
Oh yeah, when I was bad buffer earlier. So when I was flying in the fog, when I was flying up inside the fog,
yep.
I thought I saw a UFO, and it freaked me out. It was the first time I ever thought I saw a UFO up in the sky. And at first it was far away, and I looked back again, and it was really close. It looked like an Amazon drone flying a supersized package. And I looked again, and it was really far away. I started freaking out. I was about to pee myself. I didn't know what to do. It was the only person up in the sky, fogs all the way down to the ground, covering the ground. I couldn't see much. I waited probably about 10 more minutes of flying, and as the fog finally started to settle, it was a cell phone tower. And the cell phone tower was peeking out of the clouds and peeking back in the clouds, and just the top of it was showing. So I thought it was an alien spaceship chasing me. I couldn't even land because I was freaked out. It was the craziest thing. Like, for a couple of days, I didn't even go back up and fly just because I thought, like, it was scary. Like, I was like, man, I don't believe in UFOs, but today I believed in UFOs. Like, so I would recommend, just reiterate, don't fly too close to the clouds. Don't fly on super foggy days, because that's probably why most UFO sightings are explained, just.
Exactly.
And there's one more, Bobby. Check your medication.
I also had another time that I flew in that same field, and I didn't see it myself, but the people that fly the RC planes around me said that they spotted a Black Panther taking off in the bushes just as I had launched. So I let the cat sanctuary know. They said that it wasn't theirs, but then they sent out a search team to go look for it. 2 days later, I ended up flying over the top of that. I saw a badger that was probably about the size of a bear, but only about a foot off the ground, running through the trees, knocking all the trees down. It's such an awesome area to fly out there. There's something going on every single time that you fly. So I hope more people come out. And it's 3. Which one? Yeah, right? Yeah, I got 3 good 5-acre fields. Plus, I've got another really good LZ, probably about 2 or 3 miles away from the Skyway, in case anybody wants to fly with me near the Skyway, too. Without having to launch right from the little beach.
All right.
Where do you live?
Bobby lives in Sarasota.
Sarasota.
Okay.
That sounds like fun, flying over sanctuaries.
Yeah, and having a Black Panther.
Yeah, that would be cool. Although Black
Do you
Panthers
guys do
would
much
chase
flying in the wintertime up in Wisconsin?
I have not yet. My last flight was November 23rd, but then my husband's been flying. So we live on a little lake, and we make a little LZ right off of our lake. So.
And there's the buffer again.
Well, I'll tell you, you'd see an awful lot of wildlife flying all around here, Southwest Florida. Bobcats all the time, pigs, deer, bears. See all kinds of wildlife here.
We'll try to.
Wow.
That's pretty neat.
All right. Well, I don't know. Paul, you're on Facebook, correct?
Yes.
Okay, we lost Bobby again. Bobby is also on Facebook, and if anybody's interested and they want to contact you for info on Sun and Fun, or they can go right to Sun and Fun at flysnf.org. And they can go right to that website and get the information for the upcoming Sun and Fun fly-in.
Yes, and you can register to be a volunteer on the big side at the flysnf.org website. If you wanted to volunteer on the Paradise City side for the ultralights, then send me an email and I can send you that link.
Okay. All right. So, and if anybody goes, please let us know. We'll have you on the show.
Yeah,
And
we'd love to.
Yeah.
Well, if you want, we'll be doing live broadcasting there. You guys could check in if you're going to do a show that week. You can check in. We can do a live spot from the show.
Oh,
that would be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah,
All right,
that would be
let's
so
do it.
cool.
Let's do
Yep,
it. We're
sure.
going to be doing ATC live and live broadcast at a number of YouTube channels.
Okay. All right. Bobby, your internet sucks.
Yep. It works for a little bit, and then apparently every 5 minutes it boots me off.
Yeah. So I did put the link for anybody that wants to join. We've got Scuba waiting in the background. I'll put it in there again if you guys want to join in and meet these guys quick and say hi before everybody heads off to bed. But anyway, thank you. And next week, I hopefully have a general aviation gal, and she is a airport manager. So should be a little bit different story
I'm
next
skipping
week.
that one. Ugh.
Ugh,
Actually, seriously, I am skipping it. I'm going to be on the road.
that's fine.
Are you really? You're skipping us?
We can deal without you.
I'm going to be on an airplane during that time, yes.
Oh, okay.
So,
I guess that'll be all right.
all right, guys. If anybody wants to join and be on the show sometime, share your story, hit one of us up. And Steve,
If we don't see you on there, we'll see you on there.
stick
Wait,
around,
if we don't
guys.
see you on there, we'll see you in there. I screwed that up. I'm drunk.
Stop
Bye, safe,
drinking.
everyone. Guys, stick around.
Let's go fly.